Hello, Gaston County. Welcome to episode number 129 of Gaston's Great, a podcast highlighting some of the great things happening in and around Gaston County. I'm your host, Stephen Long. We are coming to you once again from the international headquarters of GSM Services, where we simply believe in discussing more of the reasons why Gaston's great. We have a special episode today because we are kind of highlighting an organization who we had on back in, I think it was November, December 2021 on episode number 30 when we highlighted the Dream Center Academy. So we do have Roxanne Jemison back with us today, who is the executive director, but we also have some students from the Dream Center Academy, Sochil, Kennedy, and Finland. Did I get all that right? All right, so if you want to get into really more detail specifically about what the Dream Center Academy is, we're going to go through some of that today, but we really go into more detail. So I would encourage you maybe to go back and listen to that episode if you want to get a little more detail. So, guys, it's great to have you on, and welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having
So we're going to get right to it. But first, I want to ask Roxanne, if you don't mind, for our listeners who might not go back to episode 30 and they might not know much about the Dream Center Academy, just kind of give us a quick background, what it is, what's the mission, and just anything that you'd like to share before we talk to these great students you have here.
Sure. Thank you, Stephen. So what I want to share with you is that Dream Center Academy is a one-of-a-kind program in Gaston County. We're an out-of-school time program, but we're one-of-a-kind in that we serve students along their 7-year journey from 6th grade to high school graduation. We provide an academic enrichment program that prepares them to graduate college career ready. And we have some of those students who are success stories today that I'll be sharing shortly about them. We serve in the Hunter-Huss feeder area, okay, and we provide summer and after-school programming for our students. Our summer program runs in July for our middle schoolers. It's an 8-to-3 program led by certified teachers. Our after-school program runs Monday through Thursday from September to May, and our students come from 3:15 to 6:15 each day. We provide academic tutoring through that process as well, and enrichment clubs, and we really strongly focus on character development, developing our students not just academically but personally and socially. So that's been a big push for our program. Some of our students are not always able to be with us after school, so we've had to redesign our program or alter it just slightly to where we visit their schools as well. So we have a strong partnership with our schools. Gaston County Schools and Piedmont Charter allow us to visit our students at their schools to check in on them, see how they're doing. Our high school students particularly, they're working jobs, they're in sports, so we want to make sure that whatever we do, we're providing that support and those relationships that make the difference. And that's what I will say, that over the 7-year period, we've realized that our relationships are what made us strong. Our mission is to provide an academic enrichment program that our students' social and academic skills are developed so that they can graduate college career ready. And what I'm happy to announce is that 100% of the 20 DCA students that remained with us for those 7 years graduated college career ready on May the 24th. I have 3 of those with us today, and these 3 students represent the class of 24. And here's what I would like to share about our accomplishments. As I said, 100% did graduate college career ready. 18 have been accepted into a college of their choice. 2 are entering trade schools. 85% will be first-generation college students. Some of the colleges and universities that they'll be attending are UNC Chapel Hill, some little school called NC State, North Carolina A&T, UNC Greensboro, UNC Charlotte, Gardner-Webb, Western Carolina, North Carolina Central Piedmont Community College, North Carolina A&T, and Gaston College. And among our class of 2024, we have recipients of 8 scholarships. The Albert G. Myers Scholarship, Kennedy is a recipient of that.
Very nice.
The George and Patricia Barnard Scholarship, the Rotary 4-Way Test Scholarship, the North Carolina Next Scholarship, the Pay It Forward Scholarship, the Paul Fuller for Mentored Students Scholarship, the Wayne Kenneth Ratchford Scholarship, so Chill is the recipient of that, and the Locke Bell Scholarship. I will say that the student that is going to be attending NC State, Mara Castro, he was a recipient of the George and Patricia Barnard Scholarship as well.
Okay.
So Dream Center Academy is extremely proud of our students in our first class of 2024. And what we've realized, we say we have a 7-year program, but we quickly realized that's not going to be the case. We're going to continue to support these students along the next step of their journey.
Am I accurate, Roxanne, that this is your first class that's graduating?
Yes,
is that right?
This is the first class. Yes.
Well, congratulations and well done. So I heard some great colleges there, and of course I'm also prone to trade school, right, because of what we do here at GSM, and also I heard Western Carolina. My son graduated from Western Carolina a couple of years ago. So again, just really, we really are fortunate too in North Carolina with our community colleges and our four-year colleges. I mean, it's kind of unique. I have lots of friends who went elsewhere, and my kids have friends that went out of state, but I just don't think you have to in order to get a really high-quality education here in North Carolina. So, except for the one person I heard going to UNC Chapel Hill. Would that be you?
I think
Jill?
it was.
Okay, well, we'll see what we can do about that between now and the end of our podcast today.
And I don't want to steal his thunder, but Trey will be sharing with you that he is one of our students that's pursuing the trade school path.
Okay, awesome.
Yes.
Fantastic. Yeah, so again, that's a big, obviously, we're big proponents of trade schools, and we just, listen, four-year colleges are terrific. But so is Gaston, so is these other opportunities out there, and you just don't have to, in our view, you don't have to go to four-year college to be successful. That's definitely not the only path. And so great. I'm glad to hear that. So so if you can, I just want to reiterate, if you want to learn more about how the Dream Center Academy came about, how they get some of their funding, and just a little more detail, please go back to episode number 30, and Roxanne did a great job going through that at that time. So but again, the main reason we're here today, we want to talk to these students and about their experience with at the Dream Center Academy, and everything they've accomplished, and then where they're headed next. So unfortunately, Chill, you're closest, so that means you get to go. That means you get to go first. So just kind of, you've already shared your name, high school. How long you've been with the Dream Center Academy. Just tell us a little bit about yourself. I'm gonna ask this question first for everybody. Just anything that you feel inclined to share about yourself before we get into a little more detail.
Okay, sure. I'm Sochia Rivera Luna. I'm a recent graduate of Highland Tech.
Okay.
And I'm planning to go to UNC Chapel Hill to pursue a career in medicine. So physician's assistant is the goal. I love hiking. I love being outside. Love to read, avid music listener, and yeah.
Okay, very good. What have you read recently?
I recently just started getting into my dystopian, like early young adult dystopian.
Okay.
So I just recently read Divergent because of the movies on Netflix.
Yeah. Yeah, I can assure you my kids could tell you all about that stuff too. That's all those type of things are interesting. There's a couple science fiction. What do you call them when there's like multiple stories that I have read, but it's probably embarrassing if I told you what they were. Kennedy, what about you?
So I'm Kennedy Armstrong. I'm a recent graduate of Hunter House High School.
Okay.
I'm going to UNC Charlotte in the fall, and I plan to pursue a career in education. All
right, very good. So what do you do when you're not studying or working, doing school stuff?
So I played 3 sports throughout high school.
Okay, what sport?
As well as working a job. So
wow,
I was very busy.
What sports did you play?
I played volleyball, basketball, and soccer.
Okay.
Before I blew my knee out my senior year.
Oh, wow.
So
that's no good. I'm sorry.
Did a lot of working, and most of the time when I'm at home, I just sleep.
So
my body needs the rest.
So you play soccer for all 4 years, or?
Yes.
All right. So my daughter was the last 2 years the goalie at Forest View.
Oh.
So you played against her. So
Rachel.
Yeah, Rachel Long.
Yeah, I went to commissioner school with Rachel.
Really?
Yes.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, I will make sure that she watches and hears this episode. So I appreciate you telling me that. You know what? Dads have no clue. We have no idea what's going on with stuff like that. So I appreciate. I'm glad I shared that because she's going off to NC State in the fall. So again, I appreciate you sharing that. Finland, what about you? Anything you'd like to share?
Okay. Hi, I'm Finland Fair. I graduated from Hernahurst High School. I plan to continue my education at Gaston College.
Okay.
Be an electrician.
Oh.
I just finished my introductory class with residential wiring last semester.
Very good. So what when you're not studying electricity or school, anything else that you do with your time?
I play football, and usually when I'm just out, I'm just with my friends and stuff.
Okay.
Charlotte, get some food and stuff like that.
Oh, cool. So you guys know Coach Troy Phillips from the. So he was on. Gosh, I wish I remember what episode that was. I've known Troy for many years, and he was had a great episode about the work he's doing with the Hunter-Hurst basketball team and through First Baptist Church. So if you haven't heard that one, I'd encourage you to go back and listen. Sorry, I had to look that one up before we leave. So I don't know which episode.
He's got a great program building.
Oh yeah, well he's just a great guy. I happen to, believe it or not, I happen to coach his son back. Gosh. First Methodist, I coached First Methodist youth sports for a while when my kids were younger, and we happened to have Z on one of the teams, and he's quite a player. But I guess how I got to know Troy really, really well over the years. All right. Oh yeah, that's right. In season 5, it was the most watched and listened to episode. So that tells you something right there about Troy. So Finn, I'm gonna go back to you. So you won't have to be first this time.
Okay.
So. I know you all mentioned where you're going, but can you go a little bit maybe more detailed now that you completed high school? What are your next steps? I heard studying electrical trade at Gaston College. What do you think that might turn into? What do you
Hopefully a job.
Okay, but something specific, or or you haven't got into it enough yet to know. Listen, I got news for you. When I graduated high school, I thought I was going to engineering school, but I had no idea what that meant next, right? I just knew I wanted a job, and frankly, I sure wasn't going to come work here at GSM, but here I am 30 years later. Is that too tough of a question since you haven't actually gotten into the program yet?
No, it's fine. I was really just trying it out, trying to see what I would like to do, because I was debating between HVAC and electrical, so I was just trying it out to see which one. Yeah.
Well, if you want to talk about HVAC, we can talk about that afterwards. You know what? They are super related, right? Because you can't do HVAC without having to know a good bit about electrical. You can probably do electrical without knowing much about HVAC, actually, but you can't do both. So I don't know if there's any elective courses you can take, but I would encourage you to look at consider all kinds of options, because what's good about the trades, frankly, is in the next 15 to 20 years, super high demand. I mean, super high demand. You get out of a good trade program and then maybe go work for a company for a few years, you'll be able to go do what you want, where you want. I mean, it's really, there's a real shortage, as I'm sure you've probably heard, of those type of jobs. Again, I appreciate you sharing that. So, Kennedy, I think I heard you say education. Any specific plans yet, or are you just kind of waiting to see how that plays out?
So I do have specific plans. I plan to pursue elementary education.
Okay.
Plan to go ahead and get my master's degree knocked out the way. And then I plan to teach for a while and then eventually go back and get my doctorate in administration.
Okay, very good. So that could lead to so many things, right? Principals or superintendents, there's so many opportunities there. Do you think you'd like to potentially come back to stay here in Gaston County, or just see where it goes?
I think I would like to come back to Gaston County, but I'm not sure yet. I'm opening.
Well, I don't blame you for looking elsewhere, but I can assure you Gaston County can use terrific educators like yourself, okay? Were you getting ready to interject there?
You might want to become the director of Dream Center Academy someday.
That could be true. So Chill, I heard you mention medicine. Is that right? Was there something specific type of medicine, or are you going to kind of see where that leads you?
No. Well, I was studying dermatology for a while.
Okay.
And then I actually went to go shadow with the Dream Center, and I found out it's not for me. So then
Well, that's good, actually. That's good that you're able to do that.
And then I got to do an internship at my school, and I was a caramont, and that was with Dr. Praj, and then he is a neonatalist, I think.
Okay.
And then I just really fell in love with neonatal, even though I was really against working with kids, because I thought I was just so against it. And I think
kids are a lot of trouble, aren't they?
Yes. So
Not like kids, so chill.
no, I love kids. Well, some of them. It was just, I think that was one of the reasons why I was so like close-minded, but then my school made me go with him because it was like the only thing left. So I actually went, and I really ended up loving it. I remember I came home with my mom. I was like, Ma, like, I think something was wrong with me. Like, I want to work with like babies and stuff. And she was like, oh, okay. So then that's what I'm leaning towards right now, but I'm not sure since there's so many fields of medicine that you never really know. But right now I'm planning to get my EMS. So do a program and then start working at the hospital. Because at UNC, we have an EMS program that students are part of. So I actually learned about it when I was this past Monday at UNC for orientation.
Okay, very good.
I was there, got introduced and just acclimated to student life, which I really liked. And then that's the plan right now. And then finish my 4-year degree and then go to PA school.
All right, awesome. So, I mean, listen, I kid around about UNC Chapel Hill, but my wife went to UNC Chapel Hill. So,
oh, really?
Yeah. So it's in the family. Her mother and father both went to UNC Chapel Hill. So listen, it's a great institution. And it's hard to say that. But it is. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's obvious. If you met my wife and children, you would see that as long as they act like her and follow her lead, then we'll be good. So listen, this is, again, I appreciate you again, just sharing a little more information about that. I know, and I mentioned, when I was 18 years old, leaving Ashbrook High School back a few years ago, I had no idea. One thing that's, I think it can be, and Roxanne, you might can speak to this, I think it's good, maybe good and bad sometimes. It seems like sometimes we're asking young people to get on a path sooner than maybe when I came up through school. And I think if you find the right thing, that's great. Sometimes, though, it maybe leads you down a path that, well, gosh, that's not for me. But that's also why, like going up somewhere like UNC Chapel Hill, you're going to be exposed to so many things, right? And then even with the medicine, you're going to be exposed to so many different pathways. But the real reason we're here, we all say you guys are just success stories, and you're connected to so closely to the Dream Center Academy. So again, you're closest to you. You're going to have to take this one the first time. So can you expand a little bit and just talk about what has the Dream Center Academy meant to you, and just kind of talk about how's it impacted you? You've already mentioned it a little bit with I think you said the shadowing. Yes. But just kind of how's it impacted you? What does it mean to you and your future? And maybe there might be some parents or kids that hear this that don't know about the Dream Center Academy. Maybe maybe you're some younger classmates in the area. Whatever. Just kind of just expand on that if you can. What the Dream Center Academy has meant to you.
Sure. I think it can be split up into categories. I think it can be like personal and then schoolwork or just career-wise. So I think career-wise is really, I remember when I was like, because when you first like commit to the Dream Center, they make you like write on a postcard or like a paper, what do you want to be? Okay. And mine has switched various times. It's never been really consistent. It's been president, detective, a lot of different stuff before I landed on this.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm 53. I still want to be a Major League Baseball player, but I don't think that's going to happen, is it?
So it's varied. And then I think the Dream Center does a really good job of just opening up opportunities, even to jobs that you didn't really think you would like. Okay. I think I'm one of the testaments of that. And I think it's just done a really good job of me just exploring, which I think some kids don't really have the opportunity to.
I agree with that, yeah.
And then because of just different factors. And I just really like that we've gotten the experience to that. Also, community service-wise, I really found my love through community service. I volunteer at the hospital. I'm a tutor. Okay. So I've really found my love for that. And I just think has done a really good job for networking, socializing. And then personally, I've grown a lot. I think anybody can attest to me being a shy wallflower. But now I'm still pretty shy. But I think when I need to be, I socialize. I think I've opened myself just being open-minded, being grounded, having organization skills. And, yeah.
So, and then Roxanne asked you to come talk to some doofus like me on a podcast, right? And that can, were you a little nervous about coming up here today?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm nervous every single time we do this. So this is the 129th time I've done it. So that's normal. So I appreciate you sharing that. Kennedy, how would you answer that that question?
So for me, the Dream Center has given me everything. Like when I came into the program the summer before 6th grade started, so I just got out of 5th grade, on my piece of paper, I said teacher.
Oh, wow.
I've pretty much always known coming into the program I wanted to be a teacher. Well, when we got to high school, it got a little bit harder because during the summer, it's hard to find internships for teaching. So I did test out a bunch of different fields. I went to the YMCA. I went to the vet's office.
Okay.
Those weren't for me. So it's given me a lot of different opportunities, but the biggest thing for me was the networking I've made with people. I recently became Facebook friends with Jenny Stoltz, the former mayor of Gastonia.
Yeah. I know Jenny very well.
Yeah, so I love her.
Yeah, she's
and I
terrific.
met her through the Dream Center. I've met so many people, sponsors, and just people that I never would have met. We sat in a Rotary Club meeting not too long ago with a bunch of people in Gaston County that I didn't even know existed. So it's been a good thing, especially in high school, the networking with all the different people in Gaston County, especially hopefully coming back to teach one day. The networking is amazing. And unlike So Chill, I was very outgoing when I first came in. I had a lot of energy, and I've kind of matured a lot, so I've grown into more of a calmer state of mind. And I've just met so many parent figures and stuff that even when I was hard at home, because I'm a first-generation student, I had people around me who could help me.
Wow, okay, that's great. Sorry, Finland, that you're last. You have to follow those two on that one. So how would you talk about that?
I say that Dream Center is a community.
Okay.
I met a lot of friends there, lifelong friends that I think that I keep for the rest of my life. What else with the Dream Center?
I'll say when Trey was in 6th grade,
Oh yeah, I
he
came
was
a long
pretty
way.
rambunctious. And we would work on our homework every day, and I was just kind of his table partner to help him stay focused on that homework. And a lot of times we were going, "Where's Trey? Where's Elisha? Where's Darius?" These boys, they were finding a place to be. But I've seen him mature along the way and really come to know who he wants to be. And pursue that career. So I'll let him talk more about that career he's pursuing. But
Yeah, so how did the Dream Center impact your career and where that's headed?
Well, at first I wanted to be a mechanical engineer. Then I realized I didn't really like math that much. So they showed me different pathways and stuff, and they helped me come to the conclusion that trade school would be pretty good for me.
Yeah. Well, my degree is mechanical engineering, so I can tell you it's a lot of math. It's as much math as you would ever want, and then you have to do more. So yeah, and I'm not sure I really liked math all that much, but I was good at it. I was okay at it. So that's interesting, and that's a great point. And I think it's a really good point because nobody really, even though I kind of knew this, I didn't have anybody telling me this beforehand. So when you have people, organizations, and people around you coaching you, and you're getting exposed to these things early, that can help you. I don't want to say waste time, but there are individuals who go off to college or start a career, and then a couple years in they realize, boy, this is not for me, right? So if you can learn from other people's mistakes, or people that are coaching you, man, that can really help, kind of help along that path. So that's kind of cool. That's good to hear.